Welcome to Cory Turner Talks Cars. And why was the Cadillac XLR a sales failure? Well, I have a few ideas. There was a time when the name Cadillac meant the best of the best. There were many people whose life goal was to reach the level of prestige that owning a Cadillac meant. Cadillac had a distinguished list of luxury sports cars in its history: the 1937 Cadillac 16 Custom Phaeton, the DeVille, the Coupe DeVille, and the Eldorado, just to name a few. Being a very expensive car brand means, happen to have well-established clients that can afford them. This often means appealing to an older, more mature audience. And Cadillac knew how to appeal to that market as they rolled out large cars like the Fleetwood and the Brougham. The brand lost its appeal to the younger market, even though the younger market had increasingly more money to spend. But, all right, let's face it, they wanted something sportier and, I'm going to say it, European, right? In the late 1980s, Cadillac tried to address this image issue by releasing the Pininfarina sculpted Alante. Now, this two-seater convertible was sharp and could compete with the challengers from Europe in styling. It was state-of-the-art. Its electronics were cutting edge for the time, but pushed it to the upper level of luxury sports cars. Let's be honest, the way upper level when it came to pricing, which really made it a victim of the early 1990s bad economy. Okay, now with some history under our belt, let's move on to 2003, when Cadillac decided it was time to jump back into the luxury roadster market. The car of choice was the Cadillac XLR. Now, the XLR was a front-engine, rear-wheel drive, two-seat roadster, which sported a retractable hardtop, heads-up display, Bulgari-designed interior instruments, magnetic ride control, and an impressive 50-50 front-to-rear weight distribution. It hit the North American International Auto Show in 2003 and began arriving in dealership showrooms in 2004. On paper, the XLR had everything going for it. So why is it just another Cadillac sports car that we only think of when we see it in classifieds for sale? Well, what made it a sales failure? Okay, like I said earlier, I have some ideas. First, let's look under the hood. Cadillac brought the XLR to market with two engine options. You could choose the 4.6-liter Northstar V8, or if you were feeling aggressive, you could opt for the 4.4-liter supercharged Northstar V8. Now let's talk about the first option, the 4.6-liter Northstar V8. It produced 320 horsepower, 310 pound-feet of torque. The downside, it was the same engine you could get in an SRX or an STS at the time. And is that bad? Well, no, but it also doesn't make you say, wow. I mean, have you seen an SRX? And on top of that, the base 2000 Corvette was using the 5.7-liter LS1, putting out 350 horsepower. Okay, now let's look at power plant option 2. The 4.4-liter supercharged Northstar V8 produced 443 horsepower, which made it more powerful than the Corvette's LS1. All right, now we're talking, right? But less power than it produced in the STS-V, which was 469 horsepower. Why would you do that? Shouldn't a Halo car have all the power it can get? Supercharged sounds impressive, but it produced 60 horsepower less than the Corvette Z06. And I love that GM always saves that top spot for the Corvette. Now, although impressive engine numbers, they weren't industry leading. I mean, it's kind of hard to brag about your engine when the old man in the four-door sedan can spin it at 60 horsepower more than you, so that makes it a little tough. Yes, the engine options could have led to the slow sales numbers, but like the Alante, the window sticker didn't do this car any favors. In 2004, the XLR would set you back a cool $75,000. That is a staggering $103,000 in today's money. And if you decided you want to go supercharged with the XLR-V, you're looking at $95,000 or $130,000 today. So back in 2004, what would $75,000 get you? Okay, so the BMW Z4 was a budget $33,600. The Jaguar XKR started at $80,330. The XK8 was at $69,000. For only $88,800, you could have a Mercedes-Benz SL. The Lotus Turbo Esprit was $90,000. The Porsche 911 started at $68,600. The Corvette Z06 started at $52,000. Even the Corvette ZR1 didn't hit the XLR-V's astronomical price tag, and it had over 200 more horsepower. The car was priced out of reality. I'm not saying the price with its technology, the materials, the features, even the brand name isn't debatable. But what I'm saying or asking is, who is the market for this car? And I think it's where Cadillac missed its target, because I don't feel that they had a real definable target in mind. You know, if you're shooting for the young crowd, you're in a fantasy MSRP number area. If you're trying to hit the narrow young crowd with the right bankroll, then what are you doing to compete with the well-established and well-designed European contenders? Does some young, extremely successful Wall Street rising star want to drop the name Cadillac? No, I think in the next happy hour, they're going to drop the name with like Benz or Beamer or Porsche. And if you're going for the gearhead that wants power, well, then you miss that mark too. They could go and get a ZR1 with way more power and still have enough money to buy a daily driver. They could go and get the groceries, take the kids to soccer practice, and still make you look financially responsible to your in-laws, which is very important. With these segments gone, I guess that leaves the core Cadillac base that wants to spice things up with something sporty. But then how sporty do they really want to go? Do they want to go uncomfortable, fold yourself in half to get into a sports car, inches off the ground type sporty? Or maybe just a little more powerful engine sporty? Personally, I see the latter. But then you're facing stiff competition from your own brand. The V line of Cadillacs, like the STS-V, gave you a powerful Northstar V8, plus 4 doors, comfortable interior, room for the family, and 30 more horsepower for your lead foot. And it gave you all that for $20,000 less than the XLR-V. Even the CTS-V packed a better financial punch. Yes, it was down a little in horsepower, but it made up for it in practicality. I really like the XLR, especially the XLR-V. I think Cadillac had a chance to really do something special, and, well, for the most part, I think they did a really good job with this luxury sports car. But what they did do was miss the market. You can pick up a good quality XLR on the used market now, and they are great cars to have. They were just a confusing purchase back in 2004. So will Cadillac take another stab at the luxury sports car market? Well, I have a feeling a certain mid-engine platform might be right there for the taking, and I bet they do it. I just hope that they really decide what they want to do with it, hit the market strong with it, and then it'll be exciting to see if Cadillac can regain, some of that glory from the past. Thank you for watching. Remember to like, comment, and share. Please subscribe, follow, hit the bells, all that kind of stuff. Let's talk about cars tomorrow.